Assalamualaikum and salam UiTM di hatiku. I would like to greet to our respective judges and also panels, not to forget my respective supervisor, Dr. Shawal Hamid. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Nurfaza Hayyuni binti Jami'un and my student ID is 2019194073. And for today, I would like to present regarding my research title, which is Effectiveness of WhatsApp Application in Communication Among Part-Time Students in UiTM Shah Alam AM228 course. So we continue with the abstract. The rising use of technologies, especially in education, has started when COVID-19 engulfed and havoc by the year of 2020 in the whole wide world, including our country, Malaysia. So many institutions has practiced online distance learning, or as called as ODL, whereby the purpose of this study is to identify on the effectiveness of WhatsApp application towards a successful or unsuccessful of communication. Why WhatsApp application? It is because WhatsApp is one of the vital application where everyone, we can say every single person use the apps to communicate in daily life. So the target audience of these studies is a part-time students of AM228 courses, and the survey held by using a online questionnaire via Google Forms. Next is background of study. So as I mentioned before, the use of technology has been widely spread. This evolution somehow affect people's daily routines. A little we can take example is by looking at the situation when we wake up in the morning and grabbing our smartphones to check the notification on their phones and also scrolling media social rather than do something productive, or maybe we can say drink a plain of water, or maybe take a bath first before doing that thing. So this support by the study from Blackapus and also Macri in the year 2019, whereby the existence of WhatsApp application helped in creating a new way of communication where they can be in touch via individually or by groups. Furthermore, the support study tool is by Rios, Giraldo and also Cardona in the year of 2018, whereby the virtual communication often come out with a quick conversation in which lead to a short form use in the communication increase. Furthermore, the misspell and also lessons of communication, whereby the situation of neglect of using a good grammar and also a phrase structure is increased. So the first problem statement is the online communication have high risk in communication, miscommunication and also high spread of fake news. This supported by the study of Chinmay Arun in a year of 2019, whereby in this study stated that WhatsApp application is the incitement of violations considering the factor where rumors are being made freely. The second problem statement is regarding virtual platform of communication affect the attitude of people, especially when it is related to the common sense. As in the example, student contact lecturer out of working hours or maybe late of night, which is not suitable. So this problem statement support by the study from APIA in the year of 2016, whereby the use of WhatsApp negatively affects students in time management for completing tasks and also assignment. It discovered that people are not prioritize the responsibility where WhatsApp is more particularly used for personal purpose. The third problem statement is online learning during pandemic COVID-19 has impacted the learning life as it is broke monotonous routine, and it is also impact of online learning on the moral of our students by creating a diversions. So this is based on study by Wulan and Muhammad in the year of 2020, where online distance learning distraction occur when lecturer and student are not customized to use the online application of communication. So last but not least, the fourth problem statement is the WhatsApp is only effective for the theoretical courses and practicum, while in online lecture, practice and course subject are less effective. So this is regarding to the study by Hikmat, Endang Hermawan, Aldim Irwandi in a year of 2020, where the test result found that the learning via Zoom and WhatsApp application is much complex and also complicated to a subject that is not theoretical, such as a calculation subject. So we're moving on to the research question. So number one, how miscommunication in understanding instruction by lecturers happen? So number two, what is the rate of communication cooperation to finish the assignment or group task? And the question number three, does communication line among student and lecturer is functionally used? Moving on to the research objective. The main objective of this study is to find out the effectiveness of online platform application like WhatsApp in communication for a part-time student. So number one for research objective is to examine the miscommunication in understanding instruction by lecturer in online way of communication. So second research objective is to measure the rate of communication cooperation to finish a group task and also assignment. The third research objective is to identify whether online communication line among student lecturer is functionally used. As we can see from the diagram beside, the independent variables consist of three things, which is online way of connectivity, attitude in social interactions, and also adaptation to online applications. So for the mediator is the behavior, and for the dependent variable is communication, whereby from the independent variables lead to the mediator, which is behavior, and from the behavior lead to the communication, whereby it is a success communication or maybe unsuccessful of communication. So next is research methodology. So the first one is research design. So in this study, the research design used is quantitative method. This is because we use one and more of variable in this study. Furthermore, quantitative data and method requires specific procedure in collecting and also developing data. So moving on, next is sample size. So in this study, we use 100 students of part-time student in AM228 courses. So the approximate student that we have in the official groups is 370 students. And why we choose 100 sample size? It is because according to Red, Po Yang and also Fang in the year 2020, the minimum sample size taken to get a good statistic is 100. This is the minimum requirement. So next is sampling technique. So in this study, we use random sampling technique. It is because the process of collecting data is much easier to pick. So to the situation, we are randomly pick a population, either the student are freshie or senior, as long as they are from AM228 part-time student. So next is unit or level of analysis. So for unit or level analysis, it is from part-time student AM 228 courses, whereby they are the main element in this research. So for data analysis, we are using Pearson correlation and also descriptive analysis along with the SPSS application. And for the data collection, we are using online questionnaire which via Google form and blast to the student. And last but not least, the measurement. In this study, we use Likert scale except for demographic profile. So next, we continue with the findings. The diagram shows the result from the demographic profile, frequency and also percentage. As we can see, from gender groups, the dominant one is from female with the frequency of 62 along with a percentage of 31. From the age group, the dominant is from 20 to 25 years old with a frequency of 50 and percentage of 25. Moving on to race, whereby it is dominant by Malay races with a frequency of 97 and a percentage of 48.5. So next is marital status. It is dominant by the single group, whereby the frequency is 66 and also with a percentage of 33. Moving on to the income, the dominant group is conquered by less than 2,000 ringgit with the frequency of 48. And for the education, it is dominant by the Bachelor of Degree with a frequency of 53. And for the occupation, it is dominant by the private sector with a frequency of 49, followed by the semester. It is conquered and dominant by the semester 6 with a frequency of 18. So next is the main finding. So for the main finding, we are using Pearson correlation for all analyses. And for the objective one, which is to examine the miscommunication in understanding instruction by lecturer in online communication, the result of main finding shows that Pearson correlation of 0.610, which the hypothesis shown there are strong relationships, hence H1 is accepted and HO is rejected. Continue with the objective 2, which is to measure the rate of communication cooperation to finish assignment and a group task. The result shown of 0.656, whereby the hypothesis shown that there are strong relationships, hence HO is rejected. HO is accepted and H2 is rejected. Next is objective 3, whereby under objective 3, it is to identify whether online communication line among lecturer and student is functionally used. The result shown that the Pearson correlation is 0.724. This shown that there are strong relationship between them because it is above 0.60. Hence, H3 is accepted and HO is rejected. So moving on to the next slide, which is research recommendation. For number 1, researcher would suggest and recommend for a training program, which is as for the lecturer focusing in elderly. It will be great if there is any training program provided for them to gain more knowledge, tricks, and to help them adapt to the online communication. So second recommendation would be implement of rules and regulation. So this is regarding the attitude and behavior of the students and also maybe lecturers. So attitude is one of the most important things to a person. It describes and reflects to the personality of a person. Furthermore, in reducing the cases, numbers of sleeping partners, and also silent reader in completing a group assignment and also task, the implementation of rules will be helped. So the third recommendation will be provide manual. It can be given for students in the beginning of semester, whereby the manual consists of reminder and teach as a student how to use the online platform, and it is conducted by the lecturer. So next is limitation. So under this research study, the limitation would be under the limited sample, whereby the part-time student of AM2 to 8 is not a really big institutional. It is limited to some number, whereby consists of 300 plus somethings of members, and to get 100 respondents it is quite difficult. And next limitation will be limited model. There are only 3 independent variable and 1 dependent variable that being used. It is limited, especially when the researcher want to come up with the questions in the survey. So last but not least, the limitation in this research will be weakness of quantitative approach, whereby quantitative way where it's actually not going much deeper, it carry limited result, complex, and take a lot of time to be done. So my future recommendations would be under the limited sample would be researcher recommend to urge and persuade, kindly remind your target audience to answer and cooperate to your online survey and questionnaire. Secondly, for limited model recommendations, it will have more independent variable for future research, especially in online communications, so we can gain more. And last but not least, under the weakness of quantitative approach, the future research would be recommend to use qualitative approach, that is conducting an interview with the respondent to get details information. So in a conclusion, online way of communication has undergone with many problems. It is together with the issue related with the miscommunication, misunderstanding, rumors, and so forth. According to that, these studies analyze on how online application works, and also it is considered on the experience of them in facing those consequences. Hence, this study gained 3 independent variables, which consists of online way connectivity, attitude in social interaction, and also adaptation to online application. Amazingly, this study contributed to a new knowledge for the organization, especially the management. I think that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.